So hi, hello and welcome again, Microbehunter here. Today, again, a few bacteria under the microscope, and specifically I'd like to show you how you can obtain a safe source of bacteria, namely from yogurt. I did receive over the last couple of weeks and months, I occasionally do receive emails where people want to know how to grow your own bacteria at home so that you can put them under the microscope. And I have to tell you, I'm never very happy when I receive emails like this, because I caution against and warn against growing your own bacteria at home, especially if you've isolated the bacteria from your skin, for example, or from certain body fluids like your mouth. It can be infectious, not recommended, okay? But I do understand that some of you might be interested in observing bacteria under the microscope, also because you would like to test the optics of your microscope, and for this reason I think a safe source of bacteria is always a good thing to have. And indeed, if you put a small amount of yogurt under the microscope, then you're able to find plenty of bacteria, and yes, of course, they're safe. After all, we can eat them. Okay, and this is essentially what I've done. I recommend that you do not take too much of the white part of the yogurt, but rather of the clear part. So if you let the yogurt stand for a few days, the heavier parts of the yogurt are going to settle down towards the bottom of the cup, of the jar, and on the top surface there is sometimes a clear liquid, and this clear liquid also contains quite a few bacteria, and you can put that under the microscope. And then if you're very careful and if you observe very carefully, then you're able to see also round bacteria, so-called cocci, and many of them are even in small chains or strings. Well, and I think that these are very nice specimen, especially to practice a little bit of microscopy. A few tips if you want to observe those bacteria. First of all, only use a very small amount of the liquid. We really want to make sure that the film between the cover glass and the microscope slide is very thin. Should be only very thin film of liquid, because otherwise the bacteria are able to move vertically too much, and then they're going to float in and out of focus. That's something that makes observation much more difficult. And also, if you use a very small amount of liquid, then you can also much more easily work with the high power objectives, and even with oil immersion like I've done here. The small amount of liquid beneath the cover glass also makes sure that the cover glass is not floating on the liquid, and therefore if there is a droplet of oil on the cover glass, then the cover glass is still stable enough and is not being pushed around by the objective which is immersed in the oil. Why should you be generally careful with those bacteria, especially if you grow them yourself? Well, because you never know, obviously, which bacteria you are growing, and some bacteria are able to produce end products, metabolic end products that are poisonous. And that's something that you don't want. Some bacteria are able to produce toxins as well, and they can be damaging, and can cause even also food poisoning and so on. But of course, luckily with those bacteria found in yogurt, this is not the case. Very commonly found bacteria in yogurt is Lactobacillus, Bifidobacterium, Streptococcus, those chain bacteria in chains. These are streptococci, and they in this case have been added to the culture, to the milk culture, and they started to grow there. And those bacteria also like to grow at a slightly higher temperature. Therefore other bacteria are not able to grow there. So this is also a little bit of a technique to prevent contaminants from growing, because the temperature can be a little bit higher, still not too hot, but a little bit higher. And this is also actually a possibility how to make sure that only the right bacteria are growing in your milk. If you want to grow those yogurt bacteria yourself, then of course you can take a spoonful of yogurt, fresh yogurt, and mix it into some warm milk which has been boiled to kill off all other bacteria. And then if you take a small sample from the ready-made yogurt, then you have plenty of specimens to observe under the microscope. If you want to take it a step further, then I recommend that you also try to do a little bit of methylene blue staining, but I've not done it in this case. Well, I hope that you like this little microscopy tip. I wish you all the best. Happy microbe hunting as always. See you around next time. And of course, before I completely click off, why not click the like and subscribe button as well? Happy microbe hunting. Bye bye.